Hi, I'm Tony Skursky. Welcome to another one of our Healthy Home videos. Today we'll be talking about bed bugs. Our special guest today is John Gedeon from General Pest Control, and he's a licensed pest control business in Ohio. He's also an associate certified entomologist. John, welcome to our Healthy Home video.
Hey, good to be here, Tony.
John, in our transactions for buying or selling homes, sometimes we have an issue that comes up with bed bugs. And I was wondering if we can clear up some of the misconceptions about bed bugs today. John, are bed bugs just a problem in low-income neighborhoods?
Okay. Really, bed bugs are sort of an equal opportunity annoyer. They can be found in suburban homes, they can be found in flop houses, they can be found in college dormitories or in homeless shelters. They don't discriminate among where they choose to get their blood meal.
John, one of the things that I'm constantly asked as a realtor is if a house is in disarray or if it's messy, does it have bed bugs? Does cleanliness have anything to do with getting them?
Tony, actually, whether it's home is clean or not clean has very little to do with a bed bug infestation. The big issue, though, is clutter. Bed bugs love to hide in our stuff, and homes that are highly cluttered, almost to the border of hoarding, are more susceptible to sustaining a bedbug infestation than homes that are sparsely furnished. There's less places for bedbugs to hide, which means they're easier to find and obviously easier to control at the same time.
And then a lot of people think that if they do have bed bugs, that they carry diseases. Do bed bugs carry diseases?
As of now, all the research has shown that bedbugs do not transmit diseases to humans, or they don't spread the diseases as well. However, people get bitten by bedbugs and they can get red marks or welts and they start scratching them. And it's that scratching and itching that can lead to a secondary infection, which, while it's not a disease as such, it's still a problem. Plus, there's people who just are so terrified of bedbugs, they get into anxiety, they have depression, they have sleepless nights. And while those technically aren't diseases as such, it can be very aggravating to people.
So you have a lot of symptoms that come with having a bed bug infestation.
That's correct.
Does any insecticide kill bed bugs?
Actually, bed bugs are fairly easy to kill. The problem with them is that they're hard to find. Okay, most of the household insecticides, if you can spray them directly onto the bed bug, you'll kill the bed bug. The problem is, though, bed bugs spend most of their time hiding. Many of the common insecticides that you can buy over the counter don't have the residual effectiveness. That means after they dry, they're not going to kill bed bugs that rest or crawl on those surfaces.
So going to buy these canisters that fog a home, that's not very effective, is what you're saying?
The interesting point on the foggers, or as people call them, the bombs, research was done down at Ohio State University by Dr. Susan Jones. She and her graduate students showed that the foggers were ineffective at killing bedbug infestations, and that put that issue to rest.
Could a homeowner be successful on treating bedbug infestation themselves using over-the-counter products?
The key to solving a bedbug problem is persistence and thoroughness. Yes, there are over-the-counter products that people can use, and they can get very good results in treating for bedbugs, but they must be very, very thorough. You can hire a professional pest control company to treat for bedbugs, and in doing so, the first thing I recommend is ask for a reference to see what other kinds of homes or people they've treated for. Ask them what their approach for bedbugs would be. Are they going to use the heat treatment? Are they going to use a chemical treatment, or some combination of the two? And then finally, ask them what kind of warranty they give on their work.
John, how do I know if I have bed bugs?
The most usual determination of bed bugs are people who wake up with unexplained red marks or welts on their body. You might call them bite marks.
Is it possible that I could have bed bugs and not have the marks on my body?
Research has shown that not everybody reacts to bed bug bites with red marks or welts, particularly in the elderly population, or the elderly part of the population. They might not react at all. Instead, you can tell if you have bed bugs by the little dark spots that might be left on the sheets or the pillowcases. That's essentially where the bed bugs defecate, some of the excess blood that they've consumed from you.
John, how do you get bed bugs in the first place?
Bed bugs are spread sort of the way people spread a cold. Bed bugs can be spread by people who come to visit you. They may have a problem at their home and they don't tell you, and they bring their possessions and they can drop some off in your house. If you stay at a hotel or a motel and the person who stayed in the room before you had bed bugs, they might have left some behind and you could accidentally pick them up on your luggage.
So can you get it from being on a bus?
It's possible, but not likely.
So more often it's going to be where it's more a living quarter type situation?
Right. Bed bugs are spread between people. It's people coming to stay at your house. I believe there's a term now I've heard called couch surfing. People will spend time traveling, but they'll sleep on other people's couches, and that's one way they can spread bed bugs. College students coming home after spending 7 or 8 months in a dormitory might bring some little extra things with them when they come to their parents' home, and then they can introduce a bed bug infestation that way. Another way bed bugs are spread is by people who pick things up off the lawn, sort of what I call shopping at the lawn mart. They'll drive down the street and see a mattress or a couch on the front lawn, and they think, hey, that looks pretty good, and they pick it up. They don't realize that the people who threw it out had bed bugs on it. So now there's another infestation getting ready to be spread.
John, does it have to be a fabric piece of material for the bed bugs to be on, or could they actually even be in a chest of drawers, a wooden piece of furniture?
Yes, they could be in chest of drawers, they could be in radios, lamps that are on a nightstand. That could be also a problem if you're shopping at garage sales or thrift stores where you pick things up and you have no idea of the history of it, and it could come along with a bed bug that's been hiding in it.
So if I have bed bugs and traditional bombing doesn't work, what type of treatment do I need to eradicate bed bugs?
Let's start with the heat treating. Bed bugs can be controlled by getting the temperature up to above 120 degrees in the home, and that involves bringing in heaters and fans and blowing this hot air all around. Now, there's a certain amount of preparation the homeowner has to do prior to the treatment, because that hot temperature will melt things. Heat treatments have proved to be very effective as one way of controlling bed bugs. Another more common approach is using chemical pesticides, which involves applying liquid sprays and dust materials to the areas where the bed bugs seek harborage. The whole trick is to spray and put the materials down to where the bed bugs hide.
So if someone actually moved out of a home and all their furniture was removed from the property, could someone still possibly have bed bugs?
Sure, because bed bugs, well, it's sort of a misnomer. They're not limited to the bed. Bed bugs will hide in any cracks or crevices they can find around a particular room. That can include where the carpeting meets the wall, it can include in drapes, it can include in picture frames, and any spot where they can get a protected area to hide.
John, where can I get more information about bed bugs?
Most reliable information is found through the county bed bug task forces. We have one here in Cuyahoga County that you can look up on the internet, and also Central Ohio has their Central Ohio Bed Bug Task Force. That's based out of Columbus, and they provide a lot of good information. I do have to warn people, be careful of some of the things you might see on the internet. There can be products or things that are promoted on the internet that might just be ineffective against bed bugs. I would stay with the sources that are backed by the County Bed Bug Task Force.
If someone that's going to be purchasing a home or just curious if they have bed bugs, how would they go about knowing or monitoring to see if they have bed bugs?
You can start by having a professional licensed pest control person come in and make a visual inspection of the home. Sometimes, though, you get suspicious about an area and you just can't be sure, so then there's some traps that can be placed down. Traps are put in areas where you're likely to find bed bugs, and then you come back a week to 10 days later to see if anything was caught in the traps.
John, in a real estate transaction, We try to do all our inspections within a 5 to 7 day period. Is there a quicker way that we can find out if we have bed bugs?
In addition to what a human can do, you can use trained dogs. Just the way dogs inspect for bombs and drugs, there's canines that are trained to look for bed bugs. Or actually, I guess they smell for bed bugs. And that has proven to be a very effective way of finding bed bugs, and it's quick.
So at the time of the inspection, they can actually determine if there's bed bugs in the home?
Correct. The dog would alert, and then that area would be inspected just to verify that there are bed bugs.
It's John Gedeon from General Pest. Thank you for coming in, and thanks for tuning into one of our Healthy Home videos. See you next time.